Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to podcastjuice.net. My name is Michael Dean, and you're listening to the podcast on Prince. I guess I'm like fluttered or flustered because I'm still I'm having a hangover by listening to Sign of the Times all night. I think I was up to like 3 a.m, just caught up and listening to all this music. So we're going to talk about that. We're not reviewing this stuff. It's too early to review. We're just trying to wrap our brains around it. But joining me today, we got some special guests here. Violet Brown. How are you?
I like that. I'm good. I'm special. I enjoy that. Thank you.
Of course. And we know you've been on the show before. You have, tell us the name of your blog, right?
It's violetbinteractive.com, and I've done a book review recently for Brownwork, and I'm also going to review Neil Carlin's book here pretty soon. But I'll post that. It'll Instagram and also on my website. Okay. And what's the Instagram?
The name on the Instagram? I know you got a couple, but I follow it and I see all the good stuff you're doing.
The main one is at Violet ESQ.
Okay. There you go. We love seeing sisters doing their thing out here.
Amen.
Lord. Anyway. Also, my man, straight from South Central LA.
Yay.
Mr. Ant Pooser, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, not a beautiful night, but I'm hyped to talk about all this Princedom going on.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into it. Sign of the Times, the reissue, the remaster is out. The deluxe edition has hit the streets. Let me just say, this is like the estate basically done got in a dope game at this point. They done dropped the package on the street, and it's that uncut stuff. So I'm like, yo, first of all, let me tell you my story. I tried to go and buy this at the store. Like I had a order on a pre-order on Amazon, like a lot of people, and
like me.
Okay, so and I was sitting there waiting for it to click in and tell me like when it was going to deliver it, because I didn't get the email where it's like, yeah, it's going to be here on the 29th, because I am black, so I just ordered mine.
I ordered mine in June.
Yeah, I just ordered mine a couple days ago. So but I was like, okay, let me try it. Now, reason why I waited, because I live so close to a Amazon like distribution center. Like if I order it today, if they have it in stock, it'll be here today. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna come in late like that. No, sir. They never updated mine. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna cancel my order. And I looked up, I said, is there some record stores in my area? I did this on Google. And sure enough, there was this one big record store that I had heard about, I'd never been to. And I said, you know what? Let me check their website. Sure enough, they had them listed on the website, and it was actually a little cheaper than Amazon. I was like, what?
Oh.
So I said, let me call this. I called them up. I called them Thursday. I said, hey, you guys going to have the Sign of the Times Deluxe Edition? He's like, yeah, man. Well, we're going to have them for sale. You can walk in and buy it. Word. I said, what time you open? 11 a.m. Cool. So I'm hyped. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm actually going and buy this. And I don't normally be buying albums anymore. I listen, but I just don't go get the physical stuff. One, I don't really have a CD player aside from my car. And at the time, I didn't have a record player. I bought one yesterday. So I go, I'm hyped. And now during this time, I actually get the digital copy of it. So I was listening to it already. And then it hit streaming later that night. So I'm already like, I'm jamming. I'm already shooting up the dope. I'm smoking up the crack of Sign of the Times, like freebasing this shit. So that morning, I'm at work. I'm like, okay, cool. I know I'm going to be at that place at 11, right after 11. Let me go make some runs. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I get there 11:24. And I'm like, wow, this is a big ass record store. I haven't been in a record store in a couple of years. Actually, since the one I was in Minneapolis. What's that place called? The
Electric Fetus.
Electric Fetus. That was the last record store I went into. And I was a record store dude back in the day. Like Tower Records, used to be there every week. Lived in there. So I was like, this is crazy. Open the door of the record store. Na, 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 dun, dun. They playing Slow Love. I was like, what?
Nice.
I'm like, this is 1980. I'm having flash. I'm like, oh, this is dope. So I get in there, and I'm like, okay. And the place was huge, and I'm like, oh, I'm not about to go searching through all this. Let me just walk up to the front counter area. And it was like there was so much stuff in there. It kind of reminded me of like a comic book store. It was like there's just so much stuff. It's like, man, this is overwhelming. And I turn around to the counter, really big, giant, white dude. I could tell it was a nerdy music cat. You know, I know a lot of guys like that. And I look at him, and lo and behold, he has the box set of the vinyl sitting right there on the counter. Like it looked like it was open or something. And I was like, damn, there go that bitch right there. You know, I was like a crackhead when they see the rock on the floor. I was like, my eyes got the bug. I was like, whoa.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what a crackhead does when they see crack on the floor. Do you, sir?
So I've heard, okay.
Oh,
so I see it's right there. I'm like, oh, inside. I'm like, oh, you know, I was trying to play cool. I said, oh shit, okay. I said, yeah. And I asked stupid. Yeah, do you guys have that sign at times? And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I want the CD, the deluxe edition. He's like, yeah, man, we're sold out. I was like, huh? And then as he said, I could see behind him, like there was like some racks behind him. I could see a couple of them kind of laying on their side back there. I was like,
they were reserved, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we had our pre-orders. He's like, we didn't get our full shipment in. And so I can't sell it. I was like, are you serious? He's like, wow. I was like, wow. And I was just like, and I was like, okay, I'm a grown man. Don't let me look like I'm some kind of little boy to this man. I was like, and I said, that's the vinyl one right there? He's like, yeah. And then I stepped out of my, because I'm not trying to spend a couple $100 on nothing. But I was like, can I get that one right there? He's like, oh man, this one's sold already. It's like, all right. He's like, yeah, sorry. You can place an order for one. I was like, well, I could have did that on Amazon. I'll try and give you the business. He's like, I appreciate it. So I'm walking out, and then another dude, I guess he must have heard it. Another guy that worked this. Maybe try back later today. You know, we still got another shipment coming in. It might be some in there, you know. You can place an order. Yeah. I was all right, man. All right, thanks anyway. And I walked out. I was like, God damn it. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe that was just Prince telling me, you don't need to buy that. Keep your money. Keep that money. Keep your money. You don't need to buy that. You good. So I say all that to say, I was very excited to walk in the record store old school way and go and buy it, but struck out at that particular time. I called a couple other shops in the area. They weren't going to get it until weeks later. I did find a place that actually has a copy of the vinyl, but it's a little further away, and I'm kind of thinking about if I want to grab it now or later. But either way, I have the music, been listening to it, blown away. Violet, have you gotten the physical version of it, or do you have digital, or is it on the way?
So what had happened was, okay, so I have the digital, and I ordered all of this stuff back in June. For Amazon, it says that it'll be here October 6th. Yay. And then from the estate, it says it's shipped finally, because it was all the way from June until now. It's been saying in progress. And so it said it would ship on the 23rd, and 23rd, you know, I guess I don't know nothing about crack either. But what I can tell you is I kept checking, I just kept looking. Okay, they said it was going to ship 23rd, and it shipped on the 24th. So, of course, it is not here just yet. And I guess I could go check, but the mail's running slow right now. So
right.
I anticipate having it next week, but I'll have 2 copies like I always do. They just will get here probably in October, like next week.
Okay. Man, so which ones did you get? The CD and vinyl? Or what?
We have had this conversation before. I don't do vinyl. I got CDs, man. I know there's like 8 CDs or something and a DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the concert. Yeah.
Yes.
That I have already, but whatever.
Okay, we'll get into that. Now, I mentioned the vinyl earlier because I don't have a record player either, but I went and got a record player last night. I was just kind of like, you know what? I had this money I was going to spend on, so let me get something else. So I went and bought sort of a cheap old record player, the kind they have at Barnes and Nobles. So for all my radio, audiophile heads, don't slap me on that. But I went and picked up one, man, and I only have 2 pieces of vinyl at the moment. I have the Herb Alpert All Eyes, not All Eyes. Yeah, Herb Alpert All Eyes. No, the Herb Alpert. What is the name of this album? Keep Your Eye on Me album, produced by Jam and Lewis. So I have that on vinyl, and I have the Purple Rain Special Edition. Actually, somebody gave that to me last week.
Okay, nice.
So that was cool. But yeah, so that's what I have. And I was like, you know what? I may mess around and go and pick up that vinyl edition just to take me back to when I was a teenager, when I used, when I had the original one and I would just play I got such a nostalgic feel by putting the damn needle on the record. I was like, yeah, this is weird. I was like, wow. My daughter was with me and she was looking at me like, what is this? I was like, this is a record. Like, this has music on here,
Oh.
So it was very interesting.
Well, I say, why not? Go get it. Why not?
Well, yeah, aside from it costing a grip, but yes, I think
Who cares? You know what I think. I say go get it.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I'll send you my address and I'll go get you the link and all you got to do is pay for it. I mean, that's what it is.
If I pay for it, it's going to be coming to Austin. I'm just going to let you know that. And I don't buy vinyl. I have 145.
Interesting. Actually, I lie. I have the vinyl of the piano and a microphone.
Okay.
I had bought the
1983?
Yeah. It's like it looks like the special edition version now that I think about it. I bought it at Barnes and Noble. I didn't have no record player, but it looked so cool. I was like, I gotta have it. So anyway, Ampu. You got the physical or digital?
No, I do not. I'm just at the point where digital is good enough for me. And, I got my means and I'm paying my monthly subscription for those means. So that's how I'm listening. I listen to this entire set.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually right there with you, man. I mean,
yeah, me too.
The convenience of the digital. The sound is. Listen, I don't have a super audio setup. I got a good pair of headphones, and I love listening to music that way. So I love the digital thing as well.
Yeah, and you could start listening to it at midnight. So that was my thing.
Exactly.
It's like I really want to be on code plus the package that they show. Like I would very much interested in the vinyl with that the peach version. But I'm just when I think about it, I'm just like, yeah, it's a nice collectible. I'm probably never going to play it because one, I don't have a record player and I don't feel any inclination to go out and buy one just to listen to this. And so I just can't justify that expenditure. And yes, I use that for expenditure.
You don't have a collection? But you don't have a collection of things that are just to look at? You don't have a special room of your collector's items?
Yeah, like them Players magazines you inherited from your dad. Joke.
I'm just saying, South Central boys ain't nothing to with, homie. But yes, I do have some collectibles. I might end up getting the deluxe edition on CD because I do have the CD collection of most of the Prince albums. I don't have the MPG, and I don't have the I want to say the last three, Hit and Run 1 and 2, and Piano Microphone. So I might end up getting the CD, but as far as the vinyl, which I know is far more expensive, that's going to be a hard pass.
No, I feel you. I'm just getting the vinyl. Well, let me stop saying I'm going to get the vinyl. I don't know that, but
I thought we had decided.
Violet's going to buy us the vinyl, and then we got to go to Austin.
And then she will keep it, and then, right.
Okay, we'll come over there and listen to it here.
So it's like both of y'all just keep it at her house.
Right. There you go. It's both of ours.
That's a group purchase, yeah.
Actually, and while we're at it, just since we're buying stuff, I'm going to add another link. Don't worry about it. It'll say PS5, but that's just a code thing. You just go on and pay for it.
Oh, I won't be doing that. I don't think so.
It just means Paisley 5 or Paisley Singles 5 edition. So that's what that is.
He tried it. Absolutely.
They're about the same amount, ain't they?
Yeah, the
yeah, but I don't play Call of Duty or none of that stuff. So
no. It's a Prince thing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, right.
Don't worry about it.
What's that arcade game that everybody's playing?
There you go. So help the estate now. Anyway.
Let's see.
Anyway, so yeah, Sign of the Times, man. There's so much material on there, and here's the thing: like, I think it depends on what level of fandom you are. Because on one hand, I could be like, on one hand, I'm like, a lot of these songs I've already heard, but they are better quality. There are slightly different variants that are going on in some of these songs, right? And just the totality of it is just like, woo! It's a lot. This is a lot to take in. I can't even imagine they rejected the original, sort of like, a Dream Factory Crystal Ball, thinking that was a lot. Because I'm like, this is a lot. In 2020, for our low level attention span, to drop such a weighty, thick amount of work is just phenomenal. So that's why when I look at that, when I saw that box set vinyl package sitting there, I was like, yeah, I'll never probably play it, but just what it represents, I thought was fascinating. I was like, this is a fucking trove of music, video, concerts, and with the pictures and the book and stuff. I was like, man, what a timepiece.
I wanted to say real quick, I've gone on record saying that I have still not finished Emancipation because I just thought it was just so much music. I believe it's 36 songs, right? I could be wrong with that.
I know it's 3. Yeah, I don't have the number, but we've heard them all. What are you talking about?
I have not heard every song on Emancipation.
Oh my God. I need you to sit down and do that now.
So I'm just thinking like, wow, I can't believe I haven't went through all of Emancipation. And then they dropped this, and this is 92 songs now. Yes, I can skip the first 2 discs because that's, songs I've heard before, Sign of the Times. And I've listened to the UTech, I think that's how you pronounce that city, live show before. But even when you take that out, it's still close to 60 songs. So I haven't heard everything on here. I've, jumped. I tried to go in order. Then, as Mike, because, Mike just can't shut up and listen to something. He got to drop it on Facebook. Be all on the Facebook, all in the Discord chat. Talking about, this is fire. So I'm like, damn, I got to go listen to that. This is fire. And so I'm just like, so I ain't gonna lie, I almost muted you, Mike, because I'm like, fuck.
That's all right. I caught the shade all on it, but that's all right. Go on.
No, that was just shit. I was just using that. No shit. But it's just like I was trying to go in order. Then he telling me he said this it's fire. I'm like, fuck. Okay, let me go this. Then I'm like, wait, which song was I at? Fuck, I gotta start over. So yeah, it's just so much.
So have you listened to all of the 1999?
Yes, we did the show. Yes.
So you listened to the whole thing of that, but you didn't get to Emancipation?
I'll be honest. I was you just go ahead and call me and what is it, neophyte, whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Get the first 30 seconds. If you don't grab my attention, on to the next one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you.
And then as I, as I've been talking with Mike, talking with Big Sexy, talking with Nisa, I'm like, okay, let me go back and get another listen. I was like, all right.
Gotcha.
Okay, I guess I was wrong. So then you go through it. But I'll be honest, I have not heard every song on Emancipation. And then you drop this here, I'm just looking like, fuck, how am I going to get through this?
You got work to do.
Yeah, it's
you got work to do.
It's a total of 8 hours and 3 minutes. The Super Deluxe,
which is not enough for me. I'm good.
Yeah, that's wild. Somebody said, "Here's an 8 hour." That's a playlist, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like you do all.
And the thing is,
playlist.
But what percentage of his total catalog is that? Like 1% or something? Like,
right.
If you think about that, that's the crazy part.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
The crazy part, in my opinion, he got gold selling singles that he didn't put out, in my opinion.
Right? He could do that, though. He could do that.
Yeah. So, just a phenomenal amount of work, and we'll do our like song for song review and all that type of stuff later. Jumping or switching gears real quick too. Let's talk about the live concert, the New Year's Eve show, which is a DVD in the deluxe edition, but was also, and I applaud them for doing this. They put this on YouTube, made it an event, put it on YouTube. And I just saw this morning, they actually went back and time-stamped all of the songs. So now you can jump around on the YouTube video to a different song.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's incredible. I have seen half of this show ad nauseum. It's a very popular bootleg with the Miles Davis and all that. But I had never seen the first half of the show because I had never, it was never released like that. And this one actually has the entire concert. And I'm going to tell you the one thing for me that was the head buster, and actually, I would say it'd be worth the buy for like the real hardcore fan if you didn't know it existed, was the performance of Adore on that concert. That I'm so mad. First of all, let me say I'm mad. I'm jokingly mad at Prince. Like, that was the one song I always wanted to see performed live back then at that time. You know what I mean? During that tour, it's like, man, how come they didn't do that song in the concert? Like, why wasn't that in the movie? I was always wondering, and it would rarely play live, even on the shows back then. We would kind of do a little abbreviated version in Love Sexy tour, but not the whole song.
Yeah.
To see that they did the whole song in that concert, and it was fire. Oh, man, I was blown away by that, man. I was like, I wonder what went into the decision process in his mind and be like, let's take that out of the set. I don't know, because I was like, they killed that, man. And then he kind of threw a spiritual sort of thing on it at the end. Like, you can kind of see that Love Sexy kind of thing coming through. I was like, whoa. I was blown away, man. Blown away. So, what did you guys think of that concert?
Well, for me, I'm really excited and glad that people can not only just hear, but actually watch Bonnie Boyer's version of Chain of Fools. Rest in peace. Seeing that in near HD quality and just listening to her sing that song this is my favorite version of that song. And yes, I know Aretha did it, and you do not disrespect the Queen of Soul, but for me, this is the version that I love hearing all the time. If somebody said Chains of Fools, first person, Bonnie Boyer. So I'm really excited to have this available for people to not only see the entire concert that it's become iconic within the Purple Army, but that performance as well.
Word. Violet, what'd you think of it?
Well, I have seen it. I had already seen it. So, it was fun for me to watch other people's reactions to stuff. So, like, I enjoy listening to you talk about how much you enjoyed that version of Adore. But for me, it's the same. I like everything he does. And I was thinking, when you are as good as he is and you have as much amazing music, amazing performances, it probably does get pretty easy to go, it's weird to us. Why did he not put that out? Why he had so much? For him, I could see why he would be like, sometimes it was one little thing about it he didn't like, or it could have been that he just had kind of moved on. So he put that out, put all his energy into it, and he was done, ready to do something else. I don't know, but I like the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a listen. You watch that. If you're used to going, just imagine. I can see like a younger person who probably has gone to concerts. There used to be a lot of shows and stuff, and then to see that level of performance, it's actually pretty amazing.
That's different.
He is like
something different,
nonstop on that stage. Just all the dancing and the singing, and then the part that is to me missing from today is that he was up there looking sharp. You know what I mean? Like the clothing is impeccable, changing the different outfits, impeccable. The hair, touched up. I was just like, the whole package. You don't see that. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about it is it's authentic.
Definitely true.
The thing about it is it's authentic. It's authentic to the period. It's authentic to Prince, where you don't feel like he's trying too hard to shock or, keep up with anybody else.
Yeah, man. It's on all cylinders, and everything is top notch. Like I said, the look is top notch, the musicianship level top notch, the songs top notch. The band, just the positioning of where people are, and Cat, Wally, and all those guys, don't they all add something to? If we could go into it later or something, but if you just think about what is Prince trying to get across by going from the revolution to this, and like how like there's certain visual things that are now very present on the stage. I was just like, man, he was doing some stuff, man.
Yeah. Now, for me, after watching the clip of the infamous Meagle fight, when right before he does Chain of Fools, and he said, "Yeah, look at Meagle, look at those pants." I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, is that just being funny, or is he getting at that cat?
Hey, you never know with Prince. And it might be one of them things is after years of that, you might get tired of it a little bit. Like, man, it's like one more joke.
Like, I'm thinking, is he being playful, or he just like I'm gonna keep him in his place, so I'm gonna clown him?
Let me be the butter. One more joke. But and you see a very, you see a dope part of Prince. Like you see he's very serious, but then it was a roasting session, all in fun. But that was one of my favorite parts. John Bream, you big, going, just having good time. And I've said it before, but the whole sequence, and then with Miles Davis, that's just like, okay, Thanos or somebody just walked on stage, and, okay, wow, you're like, whoa. But the thing is, like, to me, I always say about that is, you see, yes, this is Miles Davis. He's on another shit. But then you have Prince. In my opinion, when I look at that performance, I see him like, Prince is like, that's Miles, but watch me work. Like I'm a low key make him, I'm gonna put him to the test a little bit. That's how I saw it when he's doing all the little hand signals, and I was like, he trying to catch Miles slipping a little bit and just throwing all this stuff out. But in a way that's in love, though. Like, obviously there's so much respect, but it's just incredible to watch because you really see how tight that band was, man. I was watching, I was like, man, look at all these little routines and stuff they're doing in this one segment that they can just pull and jump into this or jump into that riff, and you kind of hear all these, probably so many other ideas and things that Prince probably has swarming around. You hear, the whole part where they jump into the Muhammad Ali part. I was like, what? I was like, wow, how do you? And then they jump into this, and then him and Kat just started going into some dance thing. I was like, man, they just have all these tricks they can pull from, and then the band is just looking at his hands or his, it's just ridiculous. I was like, man, this dude was at the top of he was on fire, man. He was literally on
Absolutely.
fire.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that that's out there for the world to see. It's, it's on YouTube, even though it's inside the special edition, but I guess they realize, like, yo, this is special. So
it needs to be seen. Yeah.
I wonder if they had gotten the rights to the Sign of the Times movie, would we have seen it on this level? Then what they would have said, no, there's no reason to use that. We got the movie. So maybe that's a good thing that they didn't get that forced to do. And the sound is incredible. Yeah. They went and made the sound incredible. So yeah, man, salute to that, man. Prince. Woo! I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to jump into as well is when I saw this question on Twitter, and I'm going to try and see if I can shout out the guys who are doing this. Of course, when I click on it, it'll work. Here we go. Oh, well, shout out to dialing back here. Sorry. I'll edit this. I think it's Night. No, wait. I'm getting y'all brothers mixed up. Yeah, shout out to Night Child Eternal, which he has a YouTube channel, which is Night Child. Look up Night Child Prince. I'm sure you'll find it. Salute to him. And also salute to Mr. Ant's World of Prince. And I'm going to just shout out everybody else.
That's gimmick infringement.
Hilarious. I didn't catch that. Now y'all got beef. You got beef. Prince's friend, Peach and Black, Violet Reality, Richard Cole. It was a guy named Eddie on Twitter. And he was asking the question, essentially, which one of your videos do I send to someone who said they just never got Prince? And they were asking, they were asking Night Child Eternal this because he, again, for his videos. But then he sort of posed the question to everybody else in the Prince community as well. So salute to those guys. So I wanted to kind of ask, because I think that's a very interesting question. I would phrase it this way: if you were asked by one of your friends or family members that never really got into Prince, maybe they're just too young or they just never, aside from the hits, never got deep, where would you have them start? Like, what would you tell them to do? What should they listen to? Do you need time to think about that real quick?
Who are you asking, me or Ann?
Either one of you guys.
I would go, for me, I got 2 albums. One, I think is very easy to get into. I feel you can say that this is just the beginning. He only gets better. There's a diverse amount of songs. You have your ballads, you have your funk, you have your up-tempo dance, you have your rocker. I would say start with the Prince album. You can't go, first of all, you drop the needle or you press play on that first song, I Want to Be Your Lover. It's timeless. Timeless classic. That song, in my opinion, can be dropped, well, okay, post 60s, because, they didn't really feel for us before. But any decade since the 60s, you drop that song, instant banger, instant classic, going number 1. Then you got Bambi. Then you got Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, which are rockers. Then you got I Feel For You. Yes, I know it's not the Stevie Shaka version, but it's still it still is a song that definitely can resonate. And then you got Sexy Dancer. If you just want to shake your ass,
that's my song right there. Yeah,
I'm gonna go there. If Sexy Dancer had been released maybe a decade or so later, there would have been so many strippers making money off of that song. So many. I'm only saying that because a lot of songs released since the 90s and the aughts and sooner. It's been like, okay, how much are they playing it in the strip club? Are they making money off of that?
So now we know. Right. Now we know why they have a video talk about get your booty to the polls.
Is that why we got that? 'Cause I wondered what's going on.
Now I know who they're talking about. But go on.
I get it. Okay.
I'm just fucking.
Wow. I'm just saying that song is filthy. You know it's filthy.
You ain't lying.
It's filthy. Then you got the ballad "Still Waiting." Come on. There are very few better ballads out there, and he did it on his second album. So I say yes, that one. And of course, if not, Sign of the Times, only because there's just such a diverse amount of songs where you have conscious song, you have ballads, you have your funk, you have your up tempo, you even have your God song with the cross. There's a lot in there where you can find at least 6 songs that will resonate with any music lover.
Okay. How about you, Violet?
Nice. So, for me, first of all, y'all know I'm a lawyer, so the answer is always it depends. So it depends on who I'm talking to. Is this somebody that I know very well? Because for me, Prince has something for everybody. And I want him to hook people. So if I know the person, I'm going to go based on what I know that they like, if they have a certain genre they're into, because he literally has something that's going to cover that. So I tell them go to that. So if I have the other thing is depending on how old they are and what it is they're trying to get out of it. So are they just doing this so they can keep up with purple folk conversations? Are they they want to become a musician? Because if they want to become a musician and they play a certain instrument, let's say it's bass, then I'm going to tell them to go to a certain album for that. So it just depends. And then for me personally, I literally like all of the albums. There isn't one, trying to think if there's one that I just straight out don't like. There are some that I don't listen to every song, but I like all of it, all the way up to Plectrum, Electrum, and Artificial Age, which actually came out today in 2014. So
interesting. Okay. So you say depending on what they're into or who they are.
And who they are and how, if I know them well enough. Okay. Just a stranger, I don't know. Maybe I go by what mood I'm in that day.
Hilarious. All right, and I like that. I would say I would kind of say the same sort of thing. I would actually, the easier I answer for me, I would give them the hits. One of his greatest hits collections, whether it be the hits and B-sides or
come on, that's a cheat. That is cheating. Come on, man.
Ultimate Prince is a very good one.
I think Ultimate Prince is a good one to start with, though, really, because those remixing, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I would give them the hits because to me, the way I got into like Sly Stone, Sly and Family Stone is I had heard the songs, the hits before, and not even necessarily know that was them. And so, because they're such a part of the American culture. But then when I started to listen, I had got the Greatest Hits album, and I was like, damn, shit is tight. And it made me want to go and get the albums that these songs were from. But I was like, I enjoyed listening to it out of context because I didn't know the context, but those songs are fire. And so I would say the same thing with Prince. I'm like, Prince has fire singles and stuff or hits that some they may have heard, but I'm like, why not just give them all the comfort food? Like, I know before I'm trying to, turn you over to the Lord, let me feed you because I know you hungry.
That's a good analogy, sir.
Yeah, so just give them something to eat, like man. That. And there's some food that there's no song on there that they're not going to be, this is, True. Getting into. So I say give them the hits, man, and let them see what moves them to jump into other stuff. Quiet as Kept, that's kind of how I got into Prince. I had heard 1999. Of course, those are bigger songs. You kind of heard them. But it wasn't until Purple Rain came out, right? And then When Doves Cry, all that. And I paid attention. I was like, yo, this is the shit. Then going to see the movie and all that, and you just get sucked in.
I didn't get to do that.
Okay. But I'm saying, but then it was like, okay, let me backtrack. And I was like, oh, he had albums out before? I was like, I remember, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, I remember buying Controversy, and I was like, I started to play Controversy, and I was like, I've heard this song before. I didn't know this was the same guy. Like, I've never seen a video. And then I'm listening to the album, like, this is, wow. I'm like, this is more of what okay. And then I just systematically started going through the rest of the albums. But to me, that's the same way I got into it. So I would imagine like a person that's getting into it, just give them the dope shit and then let them figure it out.
Since I feel like this is a safe space, and Mike, you just exposed yourself. So because you mentioned controversy, that was me when it came to 1999. I had heard the song before, had no idea it was Prince.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you say this, and what year are you admitting to this in?
This is probably 84, 85.
Oh, okay. I'm not mad at that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I was the same place.
I wasn't even, Okay. Yeah. No, I thought you meant like recently.
Right. I mean, like,
come on, stop it.
That's why when you said we're in the same space, you made me nervous. But yeah, no, the 80s, I could see that.
Yeah, and you're right too, though. And depending on the type of person I would wonder, like, what music are they into already? Because I think Prince has something for every sort of genre. So, like, if it was a person and I knew they come from a rock background, I might say, you know what, you should probably check this out.
Chaos and Disorder and the Gold Experience, they would like those probably, and also Plectrum Electrum. Those would be good for rock.
And I would say possibly sometimes you'll get. Actually, I met a young kid. Actually, he was working at Safeway. He was a checkout dude. He had to be in his early 20s, excuse me. And he saw I had a Prince shirt on or something. And he was like, "Oh yeah, Prince. I'm just getting into that." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, man." I'm trying to remember what he said. He said one of the hit songs. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm normally into rock, but I'm just starting to get into older music." And he was like, older soul music. He didn't want to hear. So he was like, "Yeah, I just got, he said, I just got Sly and the Family Stone, man." He's like, "Yo," and I could tell, like, for him, it was his first sort of, like, he wanted to get into soul music, from listening to rock all the time. And so I was like, depending on what they're really trying to get, like you said, they may be coming from a rock thing, but they want that. They want to hear that, funky type stuff, something different. So that's so you could be like,
and he got it. He has that.
Yeah, I was like, so I told him, I said, you should check out. I said you should check out. Actually, Purple Rain is a phenomenal album. I said, or you should check out The Time. If you've heard of The Time. If you want to hear some funky stuff, and I'm like, and that's Prince, you're gonna blow your mind. But it would depend. But then there might be some like more jazzy type dudes, and you might be like, you know what?
Exactly.
You might not. You'd be very surprised that Prince had a jazz joint, man. Go check out this.
He has a couple
Madhouse
of them. Yeah, exactly. And because what I have found, sometimes I'm always weirded out when I run into musicians who don't get him. That just blows my mind. Those albums like that, the jazz albums, I generally will tell them about that. And I think part of it is some people, what they know about Prince is what they've heard. So they don't actually, he was such a showman in a different kind of way, like in the 80s, and what they know is from the 80s. So they make a lot of assumptions and they never actually listen. So if it's somebody that is serious about music, sometimes I will tell them to check out News or C-Note, because it's just not what they expect. They expect to hear a whole bunch of stuff and then they start listening. It's like, well, hold on. So yeah, I do that sometimes.
Yeah,
and actually, I got one more album. If I was gonna go do, I'm not gonna cheat like y'all with the hits and all that.
It's not cheating.
I say it is anyway. Doesn't matter. But another album, I would definitely have people check out Musicology. I think there's a larger way. He's in his odds. He's on his grown man music. And he has a lot in there that I think resonate with a younger audience, and I just think of people of all ages.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that. I don't really care for that album, but I feel you.
Well, what I was going to say about that is, with that, it's more about the tour, and that's the other thing when you're getting people into Prince is if you have live shows for them to see, that's the best, because that's actually the best part. Like, the albums are great, but to hear those songs on the album and then watch him perform it, and it doesn't even matter what year it is, just watch him perform those songs is crazy. And the stuff that because I saw Musicology myself, it was crazy. I probably, if it was somebody new, that would probably be the first thing I did. You need to check this out. Show them a concert video.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, to me, Prince live, it's one thing if you go to see it, and then it's thing to listen to it. I almost wonder
totally
if
different.
you get a better appreciation of those songs if you heard the studio first and then you saw how they flipped it like whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what makes it so great is because when you go, he's doing a song, it's a song you love, but did you hear what he just did? That's what makes him so great.
Right. Other way I look at Prince too is kind of how somebody asked me this question if it was regards to like Star Wars or something. It's like, where would you just tell a person to start at the top and work their way down, knowing that some would argue the quality of episode 1 is a little different than where A New Hope and all that starts. But I almost kind of look at it the same way, because as much as me personally may say, if you start at the top with Prince, I don't know if that person, depending on who that person is, if that may sound so dated to them. And I've gotten this from people.
What's the top? Are you talking
about the first? I'm talking about the first.
Popularity?
So if you that's the thing. You. If you started at For You or even the second album, which I'm saying, we love them, but I wonder for some people, if this is something Prince has that a lot of these other artists don't. Since he's a generational artist, he's been around through so many waves of styles and music that you could hear those early albums like, man, this sounds like some, 70s disco-y type.
Yes, that's true.
What I mean?
That's what I like about
what may throw off certain people that just don't, it's hard to wrap their head around that he was in that genre, in that era, because they've only heard the more popular Prince sounding style, maybe that Minneapolis type. So that's why I'm like, it'd be interesting to where you would throw him, because he has so many different styles. Some people you might say, you know what, you like 90s type music, you should probably go listen to Emancipation and
that's what I was
the Gold Experience, because he also has a 90s sound, right? That is very much present of that particular time era.
Diamonds and Pearls,
Yes,
all that stuff.
Yeah, so he has so many different styles to him, depending on how you want to give him. So that's why I say I could say, go listen to Dirty Mind, but for some people, Dirty Mind may sound too lo-fi or just like, whoa, what is this? This is so weird. Or you might tell that to a person who's into like indie rock or who can appreciate
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And they would be like, "Yo, this is Prince." Like, wow,
exactly. And I want people to be like, "Wow," when they hear it. So that's why, for me, I mean, if it's somebody I know, I try to go by what I know about them, and then kind of branch out from there. Well, why don't you try this first, and then we'll, because they're almost always surprised. Yeah. What? I didn't know he did that. Like, how did you not know this? But whatever.
Yeah. And just jumping back, we mentioned Madhouse. If I had one complaint, and I really don't, I don't think they really took advantage of Madhouse as they should in regards to the Sign of the Times Deluxe thing. That actually, to me, if it was like I would have, if I was on the board of that, I would have fought to like, maybe we should include one of the Madhouse albums in this Super Deluxe thing, or more of the songs from that, because that album is just as important to that period. It came out during that same period. On the live concert, they play Madhouse songs. You can hear, they play some of the Flesh stuff that's released in the package. But to me, it's like, that is in my opinion, it's an important album. It's like Prince's jazz album. This first one is fire. It's hard to find. That should have been a disc in there. And those pictures, which are iconic to me, of Mancina, they should have had a couple of those. They should have had a couple of those pictures in that book. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a big.
Did they know though? I'm just like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm like, because I know people like us know Madhouse, but a lot of people don't even know that that's Prince. And
that's what I'm saying.
Just thinking in terms of them not recognizing it's something you can start teaching people, as opposed to always going with what you think is going to be most popular. Oh, here's something new about Prince for the people that don't know. I don't know that they're that part of it just yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, people that have put this together, they know what it is. And I just feel like if it's, to me, the deluxe package is for fans. It's not for the person walking down the street that just has a casual thing. I'm saying the package that should have been in there, because again,
you just want the picture.
Well, no, I'm just saying the music. I have all the music, but wow, would it have been dope if we had a remastered 8 and that was in there as a disc? Yeah, that album is fire. That's that's Prince's jazz joint.
Songs,
so that should have been in that package. I just think that's the one thing they probably could have included. And if you can talk about the Dream Factory, Crystal Ball, and Camille, then damn it, Madhouse is just as important to that conversation. And Eric Leeds and all those guys are part of that. It should have that's the only thing that they may have missed for whatever reasons, but I'm just nitpicking. But
I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, anyway. Now you got me going down this train of thought. Well, see, they could have had. And I'm nitpicking. I'm not complaining. The package is great. So all the people comment and slow down. But man, and maybe they've done this. Y'all tell me, but they should at least go get those music videos from Madhouse, and either just put them on the official. Yeah, and just either put them on the official Prince channel on YouTube.
Yeah, they could do that.
But there should, and there's, and these things exist. There are Madhouse concerts.
They exist, for sure.
Yeah, there are Madhouse concerts or performances of that whole, the set before Sign of Time, that they could have put those live performances on there too, or somehow released them. I'm just saying, Madhouse needs to get a look. That I don't know how you skip that. Like, again, that's Prince's jazz shit. Like, that's the first one. And it was banging. It had a hit, right?
And a lot of people don't know that that's him. Yeah.
It still don't.
I was playing that for some family. They're like, what? Like, I know that song. Like, Yeah. A lot of people that don't know that.
That's that Sign of the Times period. So anyway, just want to throw that in there. Let's see. I think that's all I really have. Yeah, we were talking about the newbies and what they would do. Sign of Times. We're in the Sign of Times era. I'm loving it. This is a hard one to top. Boy, they done setting the bar high for themselves. They are setting the bar. Every release seems to get bigger and bigger of these reissues. And I have to salute them. They did their thing with this one. It's a lot to take in, man. The packaging is great.
I just have to wait till mine actually arrives. I have feelings about that, but I'm going to leave it alone.
I wish it was easier to get, but, I guess good things come to those who wait. It's coming. Mm-hmm.
Well, the one from Amazon said October the 6th. I'm like, for real?
Yeah.
I know that's almost here, but still, I would like to have it now. And then the one from the state, it just said, it shipped. Hey.
They keeping it. They definitely keeping the Prince shipping style alive. This, maybe this harkens back to Crystal Ball. They wanted to keep the spirit of that. So you're gonna wait.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay,
there you go. So
that helps. Okay.
Yeah. So
they wanted it to be an authentic experience.
Exactly. There you go. And salute to they had a record release party or some kind of party at Paisley Park.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
That looked pretty cool. I saw shout out to my guy. Funkatopia.
What city is he from?
Funkatopia.
Okay.
He was out there. He was doing a live thing out there for Paisley Park. Chris, yep. So salute to him. It's a lot of great stuff going on, man. This is my favorite Prince era, so I'm just like,
okay.
It don't get no better than that. So I was like, after this is out, I'm like, I can be done. Like, whatever they do after this is just icing on the cake for me. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like I said, I'm just thinking about. I'm looking at Prince during this period. Just that, this to me is beautiful. Like, this is just quintessential Prince. Everything. He was just tight to me back then. So it's just great to see all this imagery and that concert. I got to go back to that concert. That concert, man, just It don't get no better than that to me. I need to, I'm like, where I need to go get my peach jumpsuit joint with the high heel boots and stuff. I'm like, my man was killing him, man.
I think that we should just let Prince do that.
I wear it at home, damn it.
We'll get you something else.
I wear mine at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's some pimped. He was just so pimped out, man. It's like, damn, clean.
Yeah.
Brother was clean.
Perfection. You're right.
Love it. Shout out to all the bandmen. Shout out to Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Man, just doing your thing in your prime. It was just salute.
Yep.
Wally Brooks, Levi, Miko, Dr. Fink, Bonnie Boyer, Atlanta Bliss, Eric Lees. Man.
Serious band.
Yeah, that band was ridiculous. Sheila E.
Mm-hmm.
Sheila goddamn E.
Yep.
Badass. Everybody who was up there was badass.
For sure.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right. Well, we want to wrap this up. Before we get up out of here, Violet, where can they find you online?
They can find me on Instagram at VioletESQ or violetbinteractive.com.
All right. And Pooh, sir, where can they find you?
You find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ampoo.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking us out. If you didn't know, this is a podcast as well, and you can find us on your favorite podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify. You can also, so you can subscribe to the podcast and listen to it there. Of course, you can subscribe here on YouTube. And also, you can join our Patreon page where you get the shows early, and you get also Patreon-only podcasts. So there you go. Yo, work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.